Hi, let's talk about Shiver Suspense Stories number one. I'm unsure of whether or not this is just like a one shot or the beginning of a series. Like this is a big double sized issue. It's obviously a holiday issue. I know the holidays came and went, but um, up front, I want to say I highly, highly, highly recommend this. I've been up and down with the Oni Press revival of EC Comics. I like the attitude of making brand new titles and not continuing on with Tales from the Crypt because that would be the easy thing to do. Jumping off that name, everyone knows that name. They probably couldn't do it, but Shiver Suspense Stories is the third title from these guys. Is like Cruel Universe and Epitaphs from the Abyss. Epitaphs from the Abyss is horror. Cruel Universe is sort of dystopian futures and mayhem and stuff like that, science fiction stuff. Um, Shiver Suspense Stories is more horror. This is incredible. This issue was great. This is the promise. It's taken them a few issues to get there over two other titles. But this is the promise of a new EC Comics right here. This is great stuff. Not so much with like horror hosts and things, but they're just telling great horror comic stories. Here are the credits and the stories in the table of contents. And got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. And one of them's a wraparound story with this mother telling her kids about Santa being really a monster in real life, and when Santa comes around, they're gonna kill Santa. So that's the beginning of that wraparound story. And then there's this other story about about this ornament on this tree, protecting this woman through her life as a kid. Actually observing her. So the ornament is sentient and doesn't really know why, right? And sees sees this little girl grow up and then date and then have a baby and everything, marry, have little hellions as kids that give her a hard time, and still she puts that one ornament up every year, and all the other ornaments throughout, like from her childhood through dating, through marriage, through her children and everything. Then she gets senile in her old age and her kids treat her badly, and then the ornament does something. I don't want to spoil any of this. It's pretty gruesome. I'm looking at it right now, pretty bloody. So that's awesome. The next one is called Ghost in the Machine. I'm trying hard not to reveal the other page here. And this is basically it's a guy who is trying to invent a time machine, gets visited by his future self. So it's like, oh, I guess I invented the time machine. And the future self is like, well, no, you need to slow it down, enjoy life and all that stuff. He's trying to warn him. Then they go throughout time and accrue other of the same guy from different time periods, and totally mess up time and space. That's all I'll say about that. But it's fairly bleak. So there you go. This next one, Merry Christmas. This is more of a crime story. But this woman is stealing, and lots of death and mayhem results from this. And she's stealing for a purpose. She steals a silver ornament, and it turns out that her kid is a werewolf, and she uses the silver ornament to slit the kids through. This is, by the way, like, just get this. This is really cool. Curse of the Magi. So this is I can't remember what this. Oh yeah. This couple is giving their having this one witch help them in trying to get a child. And the child they end up getting is really gruesome and hideous and horrible. It's a monster. That's all I'll say about that. That's a really great story as well. Checking Out Twice concludes with a very gruesome ending, which was, I thought, fairly clever. But it's really, I mean, like, don't let your kids read this because Santa really gets destroyed. I'll just say that. And one thing they did here that they haven't done in the other EC comics that I've read is they present an encore presentation of one of the stories from the old classic EC comics. So this is from the Vault of Horror. This is a gruesome sort of crime tale where a terrible couple get their comeuppance at the end. I thought that was a good touch. I don't know why they don't do that in the other EC comics. But, you know, it bodes well for future EC comics. I thought this is great. All the new horror hosts are in this big double page splash. There's no Crypt Keeper and all that stuff, but they probably can't use them. And here are the new characters. It's Gravedigger, Tormentor, and the Grim Inquisitor. I thought this is great stuff. I thought this is really actually the promise of what the new EC titles should be. I highly recommend it. Shiver Suspense Stories, if you see it around. You know, it's a holiday issue, so it's probably hanging around on racks still. Pick it up. If you like horror stuff, pick it up. I thought it was great. This is the best of the new EC comics so far, I thought. Like this video if you liked what you saw, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.